We are live.
Good morning.
Another great session. Another great session about to start right now. This is awesome.
Good morning. Really still
Good
unwrapped
morning.
on Friday.
Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas
Yes,
noches.
bonjour, bonjour. Oh, by the way, guys, this weekend is a pivotal weekend for soccer, okay? France is playing Argentina.
For a minute there, I thought you were calling. I thought you were calling the suckers. No, I'm kidding. But it is the finale, the season finale of the World
La
Cup.
finale del Mundial. Yes.
That's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to France because France got they got a strong team. But I'm South American.
I don't know.
We gotta have Argentina win it because not for nothing. This might be the last game for Messi. World Cup.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
man,
I want him to win it. Mbappe got many more years to come.
Okay. Oh man, he's a young buck.
He's young.
He's a young buck.
I'm a fan every 4 years. Let me invite some people. I know. Let me invite
as many
on Facebook.
As many people are, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely want. While you're inviting people, I certainly want to say happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday to my partners here. I am looking forward to today's session. It is one of the things that I look forward to, where I do a lot of as well. Good morning, Facebook user.
It is. I think it's Alicio.
Alicio, good morning to you.
Out in the
so
voices.
definitely good morning to everyone. And you know what? I don't know how you guys had what kind of week you've had. The kind of week I've had this week has been a real blessing week. Part of our job we actually tend to do is pretty much pass-bys, right? So pass-bys, just go and see either your MVP clients, your favorite clients, your VIP clients, to the clients that you actually just met, to the point of saying hello, how you doing, and even business people. And just this past week, I actually met with one of my favorite clients. And we just had great coffee time, talking, half-hour conversation. It felt really good just to meet with her. I mean, I've actually dealt with her, a couple times, and her family as well. And it was just an amazing time to do that, especially now in December. How about you guys? What about your week?
Yo, it's been crazy, man. It's funny that you mentioned Popeyes because I actually had a person who attended one of my listings open houses almost 3 years ago. All right, this is how crazy it is. 3 years ago, I got you, Gigi.
Thank you.
Sorry, music is bumping. I left the gym this morning. I just want to blast music and but listen, this is the crazy part about our business. All right, in any business, is that if you stay true to yourself and you're planting seeds, you're never going to know where these crops are going to grow from. So let me tell you, short story, literally almost 2.5 to 3 years ago, I got a listing over in Kew Terrace, Kew Garden Hills. I had another shareholder stop by the apartment. I gave her a full-blown tour. She liked the apartment. She wanted to upgrade. All right, she has a junior floor apartment. She wanted to get a true 2-bedroom. And long story short, she came through, saw the place, loved it, liked everything that I was telling her. I worked with her to try to see if we can get her approved. Unfortunately, she couldn't move forward to make the purchase. But literally almost 3 years later, I get a random phone call. And this is how everything works. I was telling Priscilla, I'm like, listen, we just closed on a deal. I need to fill that slot up with another deal. Somewhere, somehow, something's going to pop up.
Yep.
And shortly right after that conversation, she calls me and she's like, I don't know if you remember me, but you showed me this 2-bedroom in Kew Garden Hills. And I'm like, yeah, I remember. She's like, well, I'm actually retiring, so I want to sell my apartment. And I know you did your thing. I heard you're the co-op king out here in Queens. And I literally want you to come in and check it out and see what we can do. So I got a listing appointment on Saturday that I'm going to do right before my open houses. So, guys, you never know where it's going to come from. None of us do.
That's right.
But as long as we continue to plant those
know.
seeds, it's gonna flourish somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
All right? So stay focused.
Stay focused. And today's actually I can't report on this week. I've been like busy still setting up and stuff like that. It's been good. I do want to thank the team at Really Sit Unwrapped. We had our annual little get together. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was
We
really,
went to the, what's the
Yeah.
name of
really
the spot
nice.
again?
Mitsumo was
Mitsumo.
nice.
Mitsumi.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes, that was
Mitsumi,
awesome.
Mitsumi. Here you go, right on Northern Boulevard between Bayside
Yeah,
and Little
yeah,
Neck.
Good
So
morning.
that was nice.
I wish Facebook would just put these individuals' names up instead
yeah.
of having us
Right,
trying to
You
figure
know
out who
what?
they
right,
are.
We have so many
right.
sources right now.
Good
I want to
morning.
shout out. We have nice viewership this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. And
100%.
actually, we chose this topic to be or not to be accountable. How did we choose that? I think
Mm,
it was from conversation we had probably with other agents,
yeah,
and we felt that in this obviously shifting market, we're still feeling that change, um, and in order to take your business to the next level, I think we should all be held accountable. Like none one, I mean, to sustain a certain level of production, you should have accountability groups and accountability partners, and we wanted to discuss this today. All right, because there are
yes,
many different train of thought, school of of coaching and so on and so forth out there. But all in all, accountability is the key to success.
Look at
Hi,
this.
Kika.
Kika.
Kika is my kid, of course.
Everybody else's Facebook user, Kika pops up. I love it.
yes.
What's up, Kika?
I know. She's watching from work. Isn't that sweet? Anyway,
That's beautiful.
I know. So let's go with accountability. You remember, like when we were preparing,
Ooh,
we actually put in a few thoughts in on paper. I because we don't have any slides, guys. For those that are just tuning in into this training, we're gonna give you ideas and why we feel like whatever topic we bring
well,
on is we're gonna give you
Right.
our
can I give a
opinions.
question before we just
A
dive right
question,
in? I know Gigi
Yeah,
loves
dive in
diving
there.
right in. So
huh?
before we dive in,
Yeah.
I just
I
want to
like. I
ask a
like.
question.
I'm a
All
swimmer. I
right,
love diving in.
there you go.
There you go.
So we have viewers on. So here's the question, right? To be or not to be accountable. That is the question. All right. And I want you to
That is
put
the
it in the
question.
chat
Yes.
box because at the end of the day, if you were someone who was working a job prior to real estate,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you don't realize it, but you did have an accountability partner. Who was that accountability partner? Your
Ooh.
manager, your
Yeah,
boss,
your
right?
supervisor.
The supervisor, they were your accountability partners and not by choice, right? It wasn't by choice. You didn't choose for these individuals to be your accountability partners. It was because they were your boss, right?
Yeah.
But now you have
Right.
the opportunity to run your own business, right? You have the opportunity to go out there and do things your way. So the
Right.
question at the end of the day is, should you be accountable? And if so, what are some of the actions or steps you are trying to take or you should take to be accountable? So if you
Yeah.
have anything to mention about that, if you have any comments, throw it in the chat box.
I wanted
Let's
to
go.
add to something you were saying because in real estate, I put into the description of our training like the road to success could be a lonely one because you have
Absolutely.
like the top producer is by himself and stuff like that. And how do you sustain that level of production, that level of enthusiasm before even we talk about production? So
Absolutely.
accountability, mechanisms of accountability in place will help you sustain that enthusiasm. It doesn't have to be a accountability partner. It could be a spouse. It could be like really sitting down with your spouse or your life partner and just saying, here, this is what I'm trying to accomplish this year, because everybody has made their goal. I hope everybody has made their goals for 2023,
Yo,
and
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
this is what I'm trying to accomplish, and I want you to pretty much hold me to it. Obviously, that number one cheerleader in your life should be able to keep you accountable, maybe not on a daily basis, especially if you have those goals posted on your fridge. That would be a fantastic idea. But an accountability partner, if you're going to go into all those coaching groups, and if you're going to pay $1,000 a month for coaching, definitely they will make sure that you get into an accountability group. In your
Mhm.
brokerage, you probably should be able to find ways to form those accountability groups. And if not, find a way to create one. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't have to be a big group. It could be, we talked about the Zoom.
Yeah.
It could be a quick Zoom.
Yeah.
It could be a one-on-one with a partner.
It could be a quick email.
Yeah, big quick email.
So the question right now arises, and I'm going to ask you guys this question, right? What are some of the advantages of having an accountability partner?
Anyone.
For me, it's focus. Honestly, let me break it in, because before our viewership kicks in with theirs, it's pretty much, for me, it's focus. It's honestly, you set up a goal, however big or small it is, but hopefully it's big enough that you need an accountability partner to keep you focused, right? So really, it's setting up a goal and keeping you focused and getting you to the right numbers, or to the right location, or to the right level that you want to be at, right? Because everybody, at a certain point, you don't want to be complacent. You don't want to stay in that same sort of hamster wheel. You want somebody who's going to be able to push you, somebody who's ever going to be able to, keep you in the straight road, and able to actually get you to the goal that you want to go to. So for me, the advantage is actually keeping you focused on your goals that you want to do. So
I wanted to add complacency. You brushed on it, because we all pretty much get back to settle in our own ways. Like the New Year's is around the corner. The first 2 weeks of January, like, you're not gonna make it, and then routine settles in, and you're back to your old tricks and water cooler, coffee machine, and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, the gym is gonna take an extra hour today, and it's raining. I'm not gonna do that. Like the usual. So having somebody to just basically have that mirror question. So did you do your number of calls this week? Did you reach out all the people you wanted to reach? Have you added a different source of lead generations, as you said you would? They sort of keep you on your toes, and
they do.
Pretty much help you
and
out.
I think that, so the way that I look at accountabilities, right, is actually like a gym trainer in that sense, right? Did you eat the meals that you needed to eat to be able to get the physique and body that you want? Like, if I want to be in Hercules right now, I have to make sure to eat some more vegetables, kind of thing, right?
You think that Kika is there?
Kika.
Hercules. That's for Kika.
You know what I mean? It's like, I need to, as a trainer, if I'm going to go back to my trainer, I don't want to go with my trainer with my head down. I want to be able to go with my head up. And that's a great way of looking at it as accountability partners. You want to be able to, show that the productions that you've done that day, actually made you produce for your future.
Yeah.
So that's another way I would look at it too. And it goes back to focus.
Yeah. So, let me add. Thank you, Melissa, for tuning in. So let me add. Melissa is saying to report to. It's actually a back and forth. You're reporting to that person or that group, and they're reporting back to you, and that's a good thing. Thank you, Melissa, for tuning in, and thank you for jumping on our show. That's really cool.
And what I would probably add to this is, at the end of the day, it's someone to challenge you, right? That's the important part for me. It's someone to help challenge you. It's someone to help elevate you, right? I don't know if you heard it before, but I remember hearing the saying, "A rising tide raises all ships," right? So that's what it is. It's someone to help bring you up. It's someone to help pull you along and make you a better version of yourself. Right. That's what I believe accountability does for you. Right?
I'm going to add to this. Thank you for that. But you have to keep it realistic. Like, hopefully, like, all your goals were set in realistic and attainable, achievable, whatever you mean, like time bound, the whole thing. So same thing with your accountability partners. Let's make sure it's realistic as well. Let's make sure those expectations are not crazy high and unattainable. Sure. That's yeah.
And that's the important part. And real quick, because this came up right now.
Yeah.
Facebook user.
Yeah, we gotta get these names.
We gotta get these names.
I know. We gotta.
So here's what I want to touch on. Here's what I want to touch on. They said it's embarrassing to keep falling short on a regular basis. So first of all, you shouldn't feel embarrassed. You shouldn't feel embarrassed about it. You know why? Because at that point, you're working towards something. All right. If you're falling short, you need to refocus your goals. You need to sit down and analyze what your goals are, because if they are far-fetched, then clearly you might fall short. And the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself, right? Mentally, because that's where the strain really falls upon. It's like, oh my
Right.
God, I can't do this. And it continues to happen. So what you should do is just sit back down, analyze your goals, and make sure they're attainable and achievable goals. All right. For example, if I jumped into real estate today, I'm not going to run around and say, hey, guess what? I want to make $3 million in the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, that's really not attainable for me, right? There's things that I got to work on. Some people have simple goals, and it's okay to be simple-minded on these goals, right? Like, oh, you know what? I just want to make an extra $30,000 next year in real estate part-time,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Now that's something that's achievable. That's something that's attainable. That's something that we
Right.
can work towards, right? But we don't want to have far-fetched goals. So make sure you sit down, analyze those goals, and make sure they're attainable. And don't feel embarrassed, because at least you're
So,
somebody setting up your
Never.
goals to make it happen.
well, what I love
Go
what
ahead.
you're saying there is actually using the SMART goal version of that, right? So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're specific, that you're measurable, that it's achievable, that it's attainable or achievable in that sense, right?
Yeah.
It's a realistic, and then give yourself a timeline. Honestly, yeah, to say that you have an accountability partner doesn't mean that you're going to have an accountability partner for the entire year. We all have a goal. We all have a certain type of focus and goal that we want to make,
Mm-hmm.
to the point of, let's just say that I want to buy a car by this summer. Then you want to be able to make some money for that time frame. Like, here,
Yeah.
help me make that number, right? So I think it's very important that you, as a person that's actually asking for the person to hold you accountable, is to make sure, again, as you said, that it's specific, that's measurable, it's achievable, attainable in that sense, and make sure that's realistic. Make sure that there's time bound.
I want to brush on the
So,
embarrassing part and the falling short part. Number one, I think it's normal to feel embarrassed, because we all have self-pride and stuff like that. But I think the lesson to be learned is, okay, I'm falling short on a daily basis. I'm reporting to my partner. We both in the business, we're not necessarily friends, and yes, it could be embarrassing, but what do I learn from that? Is that person going to be able to help me grow from that, get back on my feet from those embarrassing
right.
situations and make it better? Like, we have to elevate each other, Therefore,
Exactly.
there shouldn't be embarrassment, I think. And this is what your group is. And we said it from the beginning, is elevating each other, elevating your accountability partner. Let's bring in Joel right here. Thank you, Joel, for tuning in.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Joe.
All
I
right.
see you. All right.
You know what? Help prioritizing tasks and pointing out weaknesses, to address weaknesses, and also to cheer the good stuff that you've done, like, because sometimes the weaknesses happen because you're still working on your craft, and that's the beauty of it. You're working on it. So yes, you're going to have some weak points, but the fact that you're doing it, that's already like more than half of the battle won. You guys agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I would probably add to this is, look, if you're in accountability with somebody, understand that what you're going to receive is constructive criticism. And if you're the one giving that constructive criticism, make sure you're not pointing it out in a way where you're embarrassing them or making them feel unimportant. Because at the end of the day, nobody grew up with sales skills. All
Of
right.
course not. Yeah.
Nobody learned it and came out of school with sales skills. As a matter of fact, they should have taught sales skills in school. You know what I mean? But they didn't. So if you're a partner with somebody, what I would recommend is to use the Oreo method. Have you guys heard of the Oreo method?
What the hell is it's a cookie?
I'll tell you what it is. All right. What you're doing is that you're sandwiching the problem, right? So let's say Israel and I are having a conversation and we're doing role practice, script practice, whatever the case is, right? And Israel says something that I believe was incorrect, right? Something that he can work on. So what I would do is point out, hey, Israel, I like what you said here. I like the question you asked, right? So I'm complimenting it. Now I'm going to sandwich it. I like the questions you were asking. You were going through perfectly. That's great. If I can make a recommendation, what you would have to work on a little bit is your tone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm mentioning what we need to fix.
Yeah.
After that is then I sandwich it again. But all in all, Israel, you did really good. You followed the script. You continue to go. Listen, just keep practicing.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay. When you hear something in that tone, in that way,
it's positive,
now
it's
it's like I'm
encouraging.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now I'm fixing something. Now, oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what? Because you sandwiched what the issue was. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be somebody that's gonna be like, oh man, terrible. You should have never said that. You know, why are you doing this? That's where it gets difficult.
Yeah.
All right. And we're not all
For a lot of
perfect.
people.
But I want us to
Yep.
keep that in mind when because again, this is a sensitive thing. Accountability partners
Yeah.
is a sensitive thing. Okay.
Right.
So we want to
But this
make
should
sure
be positive. This should help you move
100%.
forward in your business, and we should, be
Well,
sensible to the other person. And a lot of the
100%.
times, you may have an accountability partner that is not the same personality type as yourself, and may not have the same, like somebody like me. I may not be sensitive to certain things because whatever. But
to
you
me,
have
that's
to
fine,
make
though.
the extra. I know, but you have to be
Right.
sensitive to the other person. That helps you grow. I think an accountability group, an accountability partner will help you grow ultimately as a person. Because you'll be aware of the other. You'll be aware of what you give and what you receive.
I agree
No?
and I disagree in that sense. So,
Good. There we go.
in a sense, yeah, because honestly, the way I see it, it doesn't really, as far as personality, it really, imagine having two analyticals together in that sense, being accountability partners, like not being so quick decisions, or maybe a driver and an accountability person. The driver is just going to be very like, come on, man, I need that kind of result. I need that kind of situation, right? I can't have you being too soft on me. I need you to be here, right? So I guess where I'm going with that is that for an accountability partner, you actually first need to find somebody, and I agree, you need to find somebody who you can at least communicate, and it's going to push you to that level. At least in my succession, in my thought process, right? I don't want somebody to be like, it's okay, you didn't make it today, that's fine, because you're not helping me to get to that next level. I almost want you to be like, look, you didn't make it. You didn't do 30 transactions today. I mean, you didn't do 30 contacts today. You need to do 35 tomorrow. It's like, this is the kind of thing you need to do in order to get to the numbers that you want to get to.
Yes.
And that's the kind of things I feel.
But we're agreeing.
like
You have to be empathetic, but I also want somebody to kick my ass.
So here's where this all ties together, right? Because what you guys are mentioning is relatability.
Yes.
Right. You need to be able to relate to the person that you're an accountability partner with. Another thing that I would highly recommend is, and we've already gone through this before, was you need to understand the different types of personalities that there are out there. Because even if you are, like Israel said, you're driven, you're a deep personality, but you pair up with someone who's like me, which is more like energetic and in tune with his emotions, right? You can't tell me, oh, you didn't hit your goals today. Well, guess what? Tomorrow you're gonna have to double it. And it's like, hold up, who the hell are you to tell me that I need to double? You know what I mean? So in that instance, that's where personalities come to play. You need to understand the person that you're working with. And I highly recommend, if you haven't already, and maybe we should refresh it. All right, maybe that's another time for us to just refresh the personality traits.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you should definitely take some time to take a personality test, and you should definitely take some time to understand the different personalities and how to work with them.
What you fit in,
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day,
so I have a question.
Go for it.
No, go ahead. At the end of the day, what? Go ahead, finish it.
At the end of the day, when it comes down to business, people like working with those that they enjoy being around. So if they don't like being around you, they're not going to do business with you. Right. Same thing with accountability. And that's probably why a lot of these times these groups fall apart. I'm going to say it like that, because it gets to the point where it's like, yo, I really can't deal with this person and the way they're responding to me.
You see, this is where we differ, because for me, I would want somebody I respect. I can't be somebody I dislike, because that might turn really ugly. But like somebody I respect, but not somebody is going to be. I can't, in my personality type, it cannot be a friend. That will completely defeat the purpose.
So there goes my two questions. All right. pretty much.
Yeah.
Question one would have been pretty much where are you going to find an accountability partner if you're right now? If I'm looking at you guys, I'm hearing you guys. I know I'm in a brokerage. I'm in a team. I have a whole bunch of. Where am I going to find it? One, two. Does it have to hurt for me to be an accountability partner? Does it?
A little bit.
Oh, I think it does. So any of you guys can answer that.
So I think it does hurt. I think it does hurt.
No. Not that it does hurt, but does it have to hurt, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? You hear, like I hear it. I hear it. I heard it in one of those gym. If there's no pain, there's no gain, right?
I know. Yeah.
You can't be successful you have to be uncomfortable in order to succeed, and that's the whole key to that, right?
Yeah.
So does it have to hurt a little bit? You know what I mean? A little bit to make you feel like shit. Yeah. I need to pick up my A game.
Because there is no growth without pressure. I'm going to go back over that lobster analogy that I always say. I mean, you have to be able to grow out of your shell. So there is a level of the unknown and growing. Like sometimes you overgrow even your own production, your own whatever you do. So you have to be okay with being uncomfortable with the changes, with the new things you're going to implement. Hurt.
That's right.
Maybe maybe uncomfortable. Yeah, a little bit.
I think it has to hurt because I mean, honestly, to go back to what what Ed and I were doing, even going back to things that I've heard in the years I've been doing this, in the sense that when folks give out money, right? Let's just use, because this is the most common one, right? You give out a certain amount of money, right? Whatever the money is, I'm not gonna, I'll call it out. Some people will do $500, $1,000, even more, right? Hey, if $1,000, if I don't get at least 4 or 5 listings, just give it away to charity or do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Or they'll do every week in the sense of, here's $100. For every $100, I should have at least 1 listing, right? So pretty much it's that sort of format. In that sense, they're making sure that, look, I need to get paid. I need my money back, right?
You guys,
but if you don't have the money,
you guys didn't have the money. You had a format of fitness, which was good.
No, we just didn't want to spend the money. I think we didn't.
I wasn't gonna give nobody any of my goddamn money because hell no, that's not. That's different. That's
but
not
no,
the way.
I mean, you can make it into a game. It's good. It's good.
Right.
And if you don't have a partner, you get your broker to be your accountability partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, imagine a person actually. Again, exercise was one of them that we used. Ed and I. I mean, imagine a person who loves to wear ties, right? And all of a sudden, it's like the one thing is like, for the rest of the year, you can only wear one color tie, or one ugly tie that you have to wear for the rest of the year, even at your listing appointments. Like little things like that. If you don't want to waste the money, but then again, it has to be something that you really don't want to do, and you have to achieve your things in order to make sure that you don't do what you don't want to do.
Right.
And that's how I see the fun part about that accountability.
It is. Right. And to answer the first question you had, whether you're part of a team or a brokerage, I think setting up an accountability partner is also, it could also be a running mate. All right. It's somebody that you lock arms with in the office that, hey, you know what? I want to grow. You want to grow. Like, let's do it together, because like Gigi said, sometimes it feels like you're by yourself, right?
A lot of the times you feel like you're by yourself.
But imagine locking arms with somebody that you're in the office with.
And to keep your, again, level of enthusiasm or motivation by yourself, you might lose track, So having somebody that has the same priorities as you, they don't have to be the same person. You don't have to be your friends. They could be from another office, and even in other competing franchise, brokerage, whatever. But as long as you have somebody you can rely to and have that same laser focus, track. And again, like you'll be able to track each other's business, and it's probably like the best way.
So
for growth,
I think that the one thing also, and for those that go to events like what we've done, which we are going to do it again, right? Events that we've done, to the point of actually going to networking parties, to doing little things like that. That's another great way to actually find more accountability partners too. Folks that are actually having the same mindsets as you, and then finding those who are willing to grow with you as well. So it doesn't just have to be the four walls that you work in or the four walls that you live in, but it could also be a networking party that you go to for people to actually work with you and try to get you to that next level.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to touch on something real quick since we're talking about like, kind of finding that accountability partner. And I can't like this is actually in the article that you sent over to us, Gigi.
From Brian Buffini. That was it derived a little bit from what I would normally do and get old Mike Ferry thing. Brian Ferry is a
Brian Ferry. That's a
merger.
That's a merger between Mike Ferry and Brian Buffini.
And Mike Ferry.
When you have a baby with Brian Ferry.
I didn't want to be all into one train of thoughts and and say, okay, let's find the approach that is more widely, like for the very sensitive and open and gentle, gentle type of agent, like most of us are, unlike me. But go ahead.
I think you're the gentlest one. Now listen, it's interesting because in the article it actually talks about the traits to look for when you're looking for an accountability partner. So number one, it says you need someone who is goal oriented, someone who can help you clearly define your goals and ensure that they are smart, like Israel mentioned before, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Your accountability partner needs to have excellent time management skills. All right.
That's
I'm going to repeat that. Excellent time management skills. Okay.
That's right.
They should know firsthand how to help you to get organized and manage your time so you can succeed in business and in life. All right. An accountability partner should be encouraging, but also able to give you constructive criticism. After all, you can't grow and progress if you aren't getting the right feedback.
Right.
So that's a nugget.
And I want to throw it out there because,
Let me just I'm going to finish it real quick. A successful real estate career is built on relationships. Ensure that your accountability partner understands the importance of building relationships and encourages you to grow and connect with your database.
So since we're having non-real estate agents in this live, I think those accountability groups are also valid on any type of basically goal you're trying to accomplish in your career. When you have somebody like Kika on the creative side, you're going to work on things. I think it's good to have some of your peers, aiming at the same level of success and share like all the activities, and it should be activity based. I think those accountability discussions you're going to have should be more about, instead of pointing the finger, you didn't do this and that, should be more on talking about what you did and the activity you did in order to achieve your specific goal for that quarter, for that year, for that week, for whatever, I like smaller weekly goals than the whole quarter goals. It's like one step at a time, one step in front of the other, and you get there. It's just by doing you get there. But yeah.
But now the way you do that though is you set up your annual goal and then you break it down to your monthly goals, and then you break it down to the weekly to daily, so that way you're taking that one step at a time. You're doing things on a daily basis. And I if you actually slip up, like Israel said before, right? You're supposed to make 20 contacts and you come up 5 short. Well, guess what? You're going to take those contacts and add it on to the next day. For some people, it motivates. For others, it'll actually start to put you in a position where your plate is becoming bigger. And now you can potentially lose sight of the goal because now you're falling behind. So another thing I would mention to this would be is like, if you are that type of individual, I would say, look, don't be hard on yourself. All right. You tried to do the max that you did. The key is to just continue to do it consistently. And if you fell a little bit short, look, it's okay. Dust your shoulders off. Tomorrow's a new day.
I would want to add, you need to be able to also say, here, we fell short. What system do we put in place so you don't fall short anymore, or you fall shorter next time? Like,
there's
let's
2 of them
think
right
outside.
there.
Let's think outside the box and see what we could tweak. And you're talking to yourself as well, because you could be in that person's shoes at a different time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's all about growth and thinking, yes, it's ideally finding an accountability partner that's going to help you grow.
And it helps. I mean, honestly, just to piggyback on both sides on this, the fact is this, before even calling your accountability partner, before even getting to that level, honestly, in the middle of your day, you should always do what is business audit. You should audit your business to see how you are doing so far. Am I ready to call my accountability partner to let them know that I've made what I need to make? And if I didn't, what do I need to do to improve on it? And I love that, because honestly, that's your audit right there.
You know what I would even add before the audit? Right. And I know it's going to sound kumbaya, and this is really not like me. Like, have that little second of gratitude for what you've been able to accomplish, even just for being breathing that day, for having, it's raining, but whatever, it's Friday, like, those little positive notes, like,
exactly,
just be grateful for where you are and having this immense opportunity for growth. And then, yes, let's audit the business, and then let's go into those conversations where we can where we can grow.
Right. So once you're done with the auditing your business and doing the coupon, as you just mentioned, and you speak to your accountability partner, and your accountability partner says, all right, let's just, let's get this going again. I think the one thing that we want to make sure is that, and we said this in our last segment, and we said this a couple times actually, is start at zero. Start your day at zero, right? And make sure that you take care of that. You're going to take care of every single thing better than what you did last time.
Yeah.
So whatever you did last time, all right, it was just a pretty much a platform of your day before. So you use that, and now the next day start at zero and just rock it off to the next level.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use the analogy that Ed has been using, because you haven't brought it up, and I took it in my notes. Use the analogy of the tortoise and the hare, where it's basically, this is for the long haul. Like, everything you're doing is not just to grab that one goal and stuff like that, but hopefully it's for the journey. And hopefully it's going to be a long journey. If you want to get into it more, Ed, because I know that was your analogy. I didn't want to steal it, but here it is.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up, because at the end of the day, and that's basically what's happening right now. If you guys aren't paying attention, this is happening right now. And unfortunately, a lot of the seasoned agents, which are comfortable, right? I think the end of the year is here. I see a lot of people taking vacation, going away, enjoying,
That's good.
And it's fine. If you're sitting there pissed off that you can't go on vacation right now, don't be mad about it. All right, because these individuals are what I would relate to in this story as the hare. They're the rabbit. They're the ones that know they can kind of coast along, get there quickly, but ever so often they want to take a break from everything, right? The tortoise, however, is you. You have to be the tortoise. You have to be the one that says, it's okay, no big deal. I'm churning away at my business. We're going through a shift right now. Okay. Yeah. We're literally going through a shift right now. And is that marketing? Who's 100% true?
Somebody.
It looks like YouTube.
I know.
Listen, so you have to be the tortoise in this story. Okay. You need to just continue to take your steps one day at a time. And in that story, the tortoise won the race. All right. Now, we're not in a race. This is a journey that we're going through. We're building a business, because I honestly believe for each and every one of you who have buckled down and are going through the business, making the phone calls, doing your showings, doing open houses, grabbing listings, you are literally setting yourself up to, I believe, 10x your business in 2023. When everybody else is already comfortable in the way their business is running, you're going to be the one to stand out. Why? When that person is on vacation and somebody needs to sell and they reach out to that individual and that person's on vacation, guess who's going to end up getting that listing? You, because you were hammering away at the phone calls, you were door knocking, whatever the case is that you did to build your business, you were still there in the office trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to go on vacation too next year. So I'll be there.
I'm going on vacation now. I'm going on vacation. I don't know who 100% true is, but now they got my
Edward. Edward is a great motivational speaker. His forte is actually really on, and this is why we have this group, guys. I think we can wrap it up. Edward's forte is mindset, motivation, and stuff like that. And when it comes to analyzing, finding great ways, programs, anything that is a little bit more meticulous, Israel is the guy. And in the end, having a totally different personality than those two guys, I'm the one just bringing some of the tasks and stuff like that. We do this, that's what you can do and stuff like that. So yes, you're absolutely right. Kudos to Ed for being a great motivational speaker, because that's what he is. And that's what, truly from his heart. And that's how he speaks. So thank you for that. Thank you for mentioning
I'm starting to hear the anthem. So ladies and gentlemen, it was an awesome session. I love the session. I think everybody needs accountability. So this is really, really good. At the same time, I just want to tell everybody that please join us at Real Estate Unwrapped Facebook group. We love to welcome everyone in. We have all our sessions there. We have our information there. Our tips, our tricks, and educations are all in there. And thank you, everyone, and stay blessed.
So the group is fairly new, but you can find us also on YouTube. If you go on Gigi Pierre's YouTube channel, which is mine, you can find all those old videos. And you can go into, even my personal page and get all those old videos. Guys, this is more than 2 years Ed Israel and I have been doing this. And we finally, and it's been hard work, because now we're finally seeing like a little bit of a viewership group. And we're very, very grateful for that. On that note.
And just to kind of hit you on the head with this one. All right. I'm sorry you got here a little delayed, my mans. But we start at 11 a.m. So make sure you tune in next Friday at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Because that's where we kick it off.
Watch the replay. Absolutely. Watch the replay.
Or watch the replay. But who is our MVP? And I'm just going to say it like this. Facebook user. Facebook user is our MVP.
Oh, no. Actually,
you guys are all our MVP, man. They're all our
MVP. Thank you so much.
You guys are all our MVP. So we appreciate 100%. You all for tuning in.
Thank you, 100% true. I don't know who you are, but Ed, you have a big team Ed fan this week. This is fantastic.
This is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
100% true. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you next week. All right.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sorry. Yeah, bye guys.
Awesome. So the MVPs, you are all MVPs. Enjoy your
Everybody's MVP. Have a good one.
Let's go.
Bye.
Don't forget to go to the open houses every weekend.
Let's
open house weekend for the realtors. You already know. If you're out there doing open houses or you see a sign, stop by, show some love.
Thank you.
That's
Bye, guys. See ya.
Peace.